Beautiful angle.
Planning, standing, all the time is spanning, waiting for the show to grow. Writing, fighting, all the new inviting, waiting for the show. Soon we'll see all the hard works come to the peak. Have a seat. Now let's meet. This is Sirius AI, and we are seriously caffeinated.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, you think you'll be just fine without me, but you're mine.
Fine!
Think you can kick me out of the band?
Wow! But there's just one problem there. You're watching Sirius AI, Seriously Caffeinated. Welcome back to another episode of Seriously Caffeinated. My name is Sean.
And I'm Jack Black from School of Rock because I taught kids today in a sweater vest and my hair is kind of long.
You know, I don't think you've ever got that comparison before ever in your life. I'm really glad that today is the day that it clicked. How does it make you feel?
There was one time I thought it was really cool, but now I'm just kind of like, yeah. Anyway, what are we doing here today? We're drinking coffee. Sean, do you have actual coffee today, or are you gonna like pull us around with another sorry excuse for caffeinated beverages?
You know what I want? I want more coffee and less government. That's what I want. But today I've got some store brand seltzer, store brand bone broth. What are you drinking tonight, John?
I'm drinking Maxwell coffee.
Is that the same thing as Maxwell House, or is it its competitor?
Yeah.
It's the homeless Maxwell.
Yes, no, it has a home. It's the home store. Special guest. We got a special guest on today. Who is that special guest? Where is that special guest?
Drum roll,
Sean,
please.
have you seen the special guest? Oh, hello. Look, it's Devro. Where did he come from?
Hello.
Play yourself in, Devro.
Well, I just finished drinking one of the most amazing things I've ever had, and I thought I would hate it. It is actually something that is almost identical to coffee, but made almost completely out of dandelions.
Almost. Hold on. Back it up.
It tastes almost the same as coffee, but it's made almost completely out of dandelions.
Is that like the shrooms, like the mushroom coffee, or like the mud water, where it's like, you think this is coffee, but it's not. But
yeah,
this time it's dandelions?
Yeah, it's called Dandy something, the brand. Yeah. So I'm trying to have less caffeine.
Dandy when you drink it?
I feel very dandy.
But not fine.
No.
So there's no caffeine in it?
No caffeine. I'm trying to have less caffeine.
So you came up to Seriously Caffeinated without being caffeinated? That's probably healthy.
Yeah.
At least he has his own sound effect.
Heresy.
Yes. So Devro, now that we have exposed everyone to your piano that you have in front of you, why don't you play us how you feel about this dandelion coffee or dandelion whatever?
How I feel about it, but put it into music?
Yes, please.
Yes.
I thought all hope was lost. I'd be hooked on my coffee for the rest of my life. But then the dandy drink came along, and it saved me from destruction forever. Now I'm feeling dandy.
Yeah. Why are you not writing commercials? Like, I seriously started getting sentimental because I could just see the commercial of like the father and son on a fishing trip.
And that right there is why Devereux Geiger is the composer of Sirius AI. Devro, can you tell us a little bit about what you've contributed to the project? You know, you've been here actually since the beginning. You've been here longer than I have.
Yeah. So, I mean, when was this? Was this 2017, John?
So you got involved right towards, I don't know when we started talking about Sirius,
Yeah, it was
but
the
I think
summer
it was
of
like,
2017, right?
was it summer, or were we still doing Beauty and the Beast?
It was after Beating the Beast. Yeah. Yeah,
It
so
was
John and
after
I,
Beauty and the
we
Beast.
we teamed up for like a community theater production of Beating the Beast. We worked together really well. Went really over great. And so a little while after that, John called me up and he said, "Hey, want to hang out?" I said, "Sure." Came down to my place and he said, "I want to write a musical about a robot, and what do you think about writing the music?" And I had no clue what the heck I was getting myself into. Never thought I'd be talking about it 5 years later, but here we are. Um, and it's just been such a great experience. John is just not just a bundle of ideas, but also like a really good manager and motivator. And so here we are. Yeah.
He's also a
You heard it
bundle
here
of
first. You
biomatter.
heard it
He's
here
a-
first, folks.
Yes, but very much so. A bundle of biomatter.
Trying to fit that into every episode I can because it's such a great line. But that's awesome, Devereux. Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about your background in music and how you. I mean, I don't know if you're going to brag on yourself much, but I'll just say how you became such a musical genius and prodigy.
Oh, I don't know about
While
genius
also living
and
with the guilt of
prodigy,
being a
but
Lancer, which is clearly the inferior one.
Oh yeah,
I need
you
to
went
say
to
that
our
again.
rival high school.
I need to-
Ooh.
A
So I went to
Lancer.
the-
Londonderry Lancers.
I went to the always superior Londonderry Lancer High School. No, but I think actually it really started back in, like piano lessons. 7 years old, my parents signed me up, and by the time I graduated high school, I said, "All right, this is definitely what I want to do." And I've been doing a mixture of musical things since I was 18. Performing here and there, writing here and there, doing my own music, doing other people's music. And so right now I have my own business where that's all we do. My wife and I, we just do music, transcriptions, recordings, orchestrations. And one of the things that I've been doing longer than even the business itself is Sirius. So, yeah.
That is Interlude music,
Interlude
folks. You should
music.
check it out if you want you want some vocal lessons, or you need some awesome like dandelion tea thing like commercial made for you that will make John cry because you get a father and son going on a fishing trip. Interlude music.
Well, thank you for the shameless
I just
plug.
plugged that in.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you can even click the link for Interlude music right here. Yeah, right here. Nowhere else.
Clickety click click.
Right there.
I've
So,
never done that in
you
a
know,
video. I've always wanted to motion to an invisible thing and know that there's going to be something there afterwards.
Hold on.
I never.
We can make that magic happen. All you have to do is say, "And you can find out more about my business right here," and then hold your hand up for 5 seconds. Let me get the spell going though.
Wait, no.
Okay,
He needs.
try it.
Wait. Can you play himself in too? Like he has to.
Oh yeah, that's part of
and
the
then
spell.
hold your hands. and then smile to the camera.
And you can find more about my business right here.
Oh my
Let's do
god,
it.
it's right there. That's awesome. That is a beautiful
Is
thing.
it still there?
Oh no, it's gone. As soon as you put your hand down, it's gone. As soon as I start
Oh,
talking,
I see. That's how. It
don't
works.
worry, they'll be able to pause the video exactly where you need to.
So, Devro, that you have a very interesting history. You have a very interesting profession. So, tell us a little bit about one of your favorite. Tell us about your favorite like musical moment like throughout Sirius. Like, I mean, we asked Sam this too, and I want to talk about Sam too. Hi, Sam. And just like what has been your favorite musical moment throughout Sirius so far? Your favorite memory, and if you can include Sam in that memory, bonus points. You don't have to.
Well, one of my favorite moments musically in the show is just a couple minutes into our what we're about to release on April 14th. And this episode, as the viewers might already know, is really just all about our two characters, two main characters, Sirius and Hope. which are just fascinating characters. I love them. I feel like I love them more the more that I see what we're doing with them. And musically, my job was to introduce the characters to the audience, and which is interesting because they're so different, like complete opposites, really. And yet they're existing in the same space, looking at the same world, and trying to do something together. They can't leave each other. So what I chose to do was to create as much of a serious vibe as I could right from the beginning, full of joy, full of life. I mean, just like really almost Disney-esque. And I was having so much fun with that. And I remember when I was writing it, I kind of got to the end of that section and thought, oh my gosh, how in the world am I going to, like, 180-degree turn to hope? And somehow I was able to come up with something that I think worked really well. And as I watched the episode, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was a miracle that didn't crash and burn, because it really does feel like all of a sudden Sirius is fading away and hope swoops in. And part of that, I think, also is, John, your writing. I don't want to give anything away, but you have a through line that takes us from Sirius to hope. And I basically just focused on that through line, and musically, as I described that object that connects the two characters, it morphed into a totally different theme when we get to hope. So that's my favorite musical moment.
I like the part where the strings go boop,
Oh yeah.
boop, boop. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like I feel like I've never heard that anywhere. Like for some reason, just that moment, it just reminds me of something that's so professional. Like
Oh.
I don't know if that's the right word, but like I feel like I've only like heard strings do that descending thing that you do in like something like really well put together. It like, for what I'm trying to say is that moment that no one knows what I'm talking about until they see the episode is like, that just like separated us from being amateur to being awesome.
Oh, I never thought of it that way. That's cool.
And you too can get a sneak preview of what those strings might sound like by clicking our teaser trailer right here. Check it out.
Well, you think
Teaser trailer.
you'll be just fine. Sorry.
What does this have to do? What does Jack Black have to do with the teaser trailer? Is he in it? I don't know. You'll find out if you click here.
Well, the pluck strings, it's interesting you mentioned the pluck strings, because I don't know if our viewers will really like have understood this just by listening, but to help like keep everything together, we decided to make Sirius very violin oriented, and to make Hope very cello oriented, almost like those are like, people talk about their spirit animals. That's their spirit instruments.
I like that a lot.
So once everything else fades away and Sirius is done, the plucked strings are from violins, but going lower and lower. And a cello is basically a lower violin. And so that's kind of how we descended into the land of hope.
So why bother with making a cartoon more complicated by also making it a musical and musically themed?
In improv, when you have to create musicals improvised, they always talk about, did you earn that song, or did you just kind of decide it's time to sing? And
that's a good ego check for people.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that these characters have so much in them, and there's so much to say about them, that you really need that. Like, they, from the first second, they deserve a song. And yeah, being a musician, I understand the characters much better because of the music. And I hope that's true for audiences too.
What is the most forced song, since you brought it up earlier? What's the most forced song you can think of in any musical? I'll start off, because I have been thinking about this already. Definitely when I saw John in his production of Alice in Wonderland, when they made an entire song about the fact that there's too much pepper in the soup. Definitely the most forced piece of music I've ever heard in a script before.
Oh my gosh. I think I'd have to say, and mind you, this is, I think, my favorite song in the whole musical. I think Beauty School Dropout from Greece might be the winner for me.
Forced song. I don't.
John's backpack music.
We're off to see the wizard, I guess. Is
But
that
they're
forced or
clearly
is that
off to
flow
see the
naturally? I
wizard.
can't
That's
tell.
not
It's
forced at all.
expected.
I mean, imagine
Yeah.
if they just
Well,
went like,
I'm gonna
all
need to
right,
think about that.
Yeah, come back to it. Come back to it. The reason I was laughing at Beauty School Dropout, Deborah, is because when I did a production of Grease, when I did a production of Grease in the 7th grade, it was one of those like forced productions. Like I'm using the word forced a lot, but where we would do a show in our class, and so like you didn't sign up for it. Like everybody had to do a show for your grade. Because I went to a small middle school, so like nobody could really sing, and we ran out of actors. So our drama teacher took it upon himself to play Teen Angel. So you've got a bunch of 12 and 13-year-olds
What?
doing Grease, and this 55-year-old man with a beard comes out as Teen
oh my
Angel. And
gosh,
it was like, I don't regret the decision at all. It's just
it's
objectively
hilarious.
So to think that the 7th grade, showing our age here, the 7th grade was more than half of our lives ago.
I know.
Think about that now, because you're class of
Yeah.
2012 too, right, Devro?
Yep.
Get old
And
fast.
the three of us met in 2015 at a Letty Center production of Bye Bye Birdie.
Yes,
And
we did.
I remember we didn't like hang out too much until Tech Week, and we were running around the stage and stuff, doing stuff. But I will never forget Devro in his corner with like the multiple pianos, just being a total G. And just like and playing an entire pit band's worth of material by himself.
Yeah, that's pretty cool objectively. You were the only musician in the whole show, but you played every instrument in the whole show
Yeah.
somehow.
I remember them saying like, "Can you make it sound like more than just a piano?" And of course, I took that like way too far. Like bringing in other pianos, making the bass and drum sounds, and programming stuff. It was fun. I totally
well,
give the
overdid it,
people
but
what
it
they
was
want.
fun.
And
We
you
had
that
just
one
turned
riff.
21 at that point, so like we were going nuts, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, young and wild and free. And then you had that one last thing on Bye Bye Birdie is you had that one riff where it was so there was a scene.
Oh, the anxiety rift.
Yeah, the anxiety riff. There was a scene change, and John and I had to carry something very heavy out very quickly. And the riff that you played for the interlude between that scene was like the most anxiety prone.
I think I know what you're talking
It was
about.
Like, dun, 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 dun.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
do you remember it? Can you actually play it right now? In
I don't think I could play it right now. I mean, I could
Oh,
play
man.
something anxiety,
Yeah,
you know, but
it was more
no,
or
I don't
less
remember.
that. Yeah, and John and I were like, we can't drop this on our foot. We can't drop this on our foot.
I wonder if that's
oh.
why they wrote it that way. They're like, this is going to be an awful scene change no matter who does it. Let me make it even more stressful. Yeah.
You play music, right? No, just
Sorta.
kidding. So you play music for Sirius, and you had a lot of people who contributed to that. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your instrumentalists? I mean, you had 5 if we're including Sam and Mac, whom
Yeah,
we've
I mean-
talked to already. You're the final audio leader that we're interviewing.
Yeah, I mean, we had so much fun putting this together, and if any of you watching this are currently working on like a low budget thing, that you really want it to sound professional, but you don't have a whole lot of money, you might be interested in hearing our process. I have some virtual instrument libraries that are pretty good, and I like how they sound. But there's just something that needs to be live about certain parts of our episode. We're talking a lot about joy, and we're exploring the world of the world as Sirius sees it. And so we really felt as though, even though it is an extra expense, that it would be really worth it to hire some professionals to fill in the sound. So we got to work with a fabulous violinist, Kate Goldstein, from the Boston area. Then we have cellist Katie Delamar, and actually, you could almost say Kate Goldstein was playing the role of Sirius on the violin, and Katie was playing the role of Hope on the cello. They added so much to the opening scene, especially. I had a good friend, Joel Estes, who just plays a million instruments and contributed mandolin. We really wanted that mandolin in the final scene. It's one of my favorite parts. And then, believe it or not, our lyricist is an amazing musician. If you haven't seen his episode of Seriously Caffeinated. Check it out. And then Mac does tons of fun synthy stuff. And between all of us, we were able to contribute to a lot of really live sounding sounds that were very human and I think very refreshing if you're used to hearing a lot of just totally electronic virtual scores. So I think we have a lot to offer musically in this short episode.
And we also, and that's not even including the vocalists either. So technically, if we're including, if you're including both the vocalists, you music directed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different no, that's just people, but some people played multiple instruments. So you did 10.
Yeah, and I think there's something so satisfying about making the music tell the same exact story from the inside out as the story, because the story is talking about humanity. What is humanity? Where are the lines, and when is something less or more human? And so it's fascinating to me that even in the choices we made about orchestration, the voices, which are the most human things we recorded, were made to be as electronic and robotic as possible, diminishing their humanity. And then the least human things we recorded were tried to we made them as human as possible. Even the virtual orchestra, when you hear the cello and the violin playing embedded within them, you feel as though the whole thing is actually a live orchestra. And so even within those decisions, the whole point of the episode was still being considered. And that's just exciting to me. I think it pays off. So.
All right. So I think we're going to start wrapping this up, and we want to play a game with you, Devro. Are you ready for our game?
Will it involve the piano?
Oh, it involves the piano.
Awesome.
So what's going to happen, and Sean doesn't know exactly what he's going to do either, but we're gonna just roll with this. Devro, the reason that I knew that you were the one to write music for this project is because I could just talk and you could turn those words and feelings into music, and you did a very good job with that. So we're gonna play a game, take this project back to its very roots, and watch you struggle as we tell a quick little story, and Sean and I will improvise it. Are you ready?
How will this work?
Sean starts talking and you start playing. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Sean, go.
So yesterday I was walking through the forest and I saw some butterflies.
Those butterflies were so pretty with their yellow wings and the cute little antennas. All the caterpillars were crawling along the leaves and becoming more and more caterpillar-y. And they were becoming in their cocoons, and then they were turning into butterflies.
But then I realized, are all these insects actually just government agents? Are all the insects secretly an artificial intelligence watching us? Our every move. They were smartphones before existed.
Okay, we got better.
But then I thought, nah. I don't want to dominate the conversation, John.
But then it wasn't nah, and then Sean's head was on a spider, and he said, "Ooh, I'm a spider!" And then he starts going after those caterpillars and those butterflies. He's gonna eat them. He's going, "Ooh, I'm a spider!" And he's gonna just keep jumping at them. And then he bites one, and that one that he bit turns into dust. And all of a sudden, Sean realized that he was imagining those caterpillars, but his head was still on a spider. And he said, "Ooh, I'm a spider."
And then he thought, if I was imagining those caterpillars, what did I just eat? And then he thought, doesn't really matter because I got 8 legs. I got 8 legs. Got 8 legs. I got 8 legs. What? I got 8 legs. I'm a spider and I got 8 legs. I'm a spider and I got 8 legs.
All right, Devro, finish it with a vocal. With a vocal. Oh, you just finished it.
Oh, what'd you say?
That's okay. I said finish it with some vocals.
I've got 8 legs. I've got 8 legs.
Oh,
Hallelujah, I've got 8 legs. I've got 8 legs. I've got 8 legs.
what?
I'm speaking for Sean, by the way. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm a
Love it.
spider.
Wow. Now that was great.
All right.
You two
Wow,
get
this-
the same kind of experience by going to Interlude right here, or checking out the Sirius AI teaser trailer right here. Why not click both? Why not smash that like button? Why not subscribe? Why not tell Devereux how much you think he's awesome? You can do it in the comments
And-
section, or by joining our $2 mug club at our Patreon account, which we will
Yes.
put in the link of the bio. or
Only for
description of the
$2.
episode.
$2
And
is
if any-
less than the cost of Dandy, whatever this is.
And if anyone out there is an artist and they want to do fan art of Sean's head on a spider, we will
Please
give you
do
a
it.
shout out or something in the next episode.
And
We'll
take
leave you a
the
big
audio
shout-out.
clip of "I Got 8 Legs" and put it on top. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, let's blow the internet up with "Ooh, I'm a spider."
We're gonna meme Sirius into the next level with I'm a Spider. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for being here for another episode of Siriusly Caffeinated. Devereux, it's been great to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
One more month.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm a
All right, bye.
spider.
Long, long ago, there lived these joyous, creative creatures called humans, or people. Little bundles of biomatter that inhabited the Earth.
Earth, the third planet from the sun.